have ever sat through a presentation that you would have considered to be death by PowerPoint?
A show of hands. We'll get ready for another one. We'll get ready for another one. Death by PowerPoint. I know that a lot of people have sat through Death by PowerPoint because I have given many of these presentations. And it's in my estimation that the speakers make the same mistakes. They'll read every word directly off the slide because they aren't prepared. They might use a different color font to make their presentation look hip and cool. And that Pikachu down there, it had nothing to do with the presentation. But I'm here to tell you how you don't need to be that person anymore. And it's by practicing something called Pachachka. Presentation style called Pechakucha. Which is Japanese for chit-chat.
This was developed back in 2003 by two designers in Tokyo as a way to allow other young designers to present their ideas in a clear and concise manner. It does this by placing certain restrictions on each presenter.
You get 20 slides. For each slide, you get 20 seconds. This gives you a total talking time of 6 minutes and 40 seconds. And as you can see right now, I have no control over these slides. I can't move them forward, I can't move them backwards. So this requires me to have a lot of commitment towards my Pechakucha so my timing is correct. And I think it's important that we try things like this because giving a speech is like working out. If you do the same speech over and over again, it's like working out that same muscle and not changing up the exercise, not shocking your body. So that's why we should practice different presentation styles like this. The second reason why I love this, I'm not going to lie, I'm an adrenaline junkie by nature. When I'm up here right now, I feel like I'm walking a tightrope. If I lean a little bit too far this way, I'm going to be short on time by 4 to 5 seconds. If I lean a little bit too far over here, I'm going to be over time. The words that I'm saying aren't going to match what's on screen. I know what you're thinking. How can I say everything I need to say in 20 seconds? But this is what 20 seconds feels like when you have nothing to say. Let me get a water cookie. I'll be right back. Sit. Damn it. Damn it. That's a lot of time. I could have gotten some chai right now. The first thing you're going to do when you come up with a Pechakucha, you are going to brainstorm a list of ideas. Because the point of this is to not tell your audience everything you know in 6 minutes and 40 seconds, but it's to get them interested in what you're going to talk about. And after you brainstorm your idea, what Pachachka recommends is that you're going to storyboard all your ideas. The main benefit that I gained from storyboarding with Pechakucha is that I was able to almost see my presentation kind of come alive in front of me. So you should almost look at this like you're coming up with a movie. You're trying to create a theme for your audience. The benefit that you get from storyboarding is you're able to see that theme kind of come alive right in front of you. I threw a little bit of a twist in there. I tossed a little bit of a twist into it. I used Post-it notes, because I'm not really much of an artist. And I found that I would have themes and ideas. They were maybe running through slides 2, 3, 4, and 5. And those ideas didn't work that well. And I needed to move them around to slides 15, 16, 17. You get the point of it. At the end of a Pechakucha, you're going to engage in a question and answer session with your audience. Because your goal is to not tell your audience everything that you know in 6 minutes and 40 seconds. It's to get them interested in your topic. You're opening up gaps in people's knowledge, and then you're allowing them to fill those gaps with questions. Any presentation that you give, you have all of these different elements at your disposal. You have your gesture, you have your words, you have your voice quality, you have your content, you have your audience, you have your visual aids. And it's our job as public speakers to create a harmonious union between all of these things. I like to think of my job as a speaker as a sushi chef. There's this man in Tokyo by the name of Yuro Ono, who runs one of the most successful sushi shops in the world. It costs $400 to eat one time at his restaurant. He has this beautiful quote where he says, "It's my job to create a perfect union between the fish and the rice." I like to apply that to public speaking. I believe it's our job to create a perfect union between the words that we're saying and the visuals that we're using. When you go to a sushi house, that sushi tastes good by itself, but it tastes a little bit better when you add the rice into it. Imagine this presentation right now.
if it was only my words and I didn't have my visual aids to support me. A lot of this information comes from a book that Gar Reynolds wrote called Presentation Zen.
Presentation Zen. Presentation Zen, written by Gar Reynolds. I highly recommend it if you're trying to improve your own presentations. In this book, Gar Reynolds talks about a new way of using your visual aids so you move away from death by PowerPoint.
Away from death by PowerPoint, and instead use images that are going to convey that same message. He tells a beautiful story to illustrate this point.
The story he tells to illustrate this is a man that opens up a fish market. The man comes up with a sign that says, "Fresh fish sold here." The man's father comes along to visit him to congratulate him, and he says, "Son, it's clear that you're selling. It's clear that you're selling here, so why not simplify your sign down to fresh fish?" So he gets the point across. A couple days later, his brother's walking up to him, and he says, "You know, I was able to see the fish way before I was able to see your sign. And it's clear that when I get close enough to you, that this is the freshest fish in this market. So what can you change it to?" You change it to that picture. Because that picture of the octopus, of the swordfish, of the crab swimming through the ocean conveys the same message as fresh fish sold here. It just does it in a creative and artistic way that creates the same tone in the viewer. I enjoy this presentation style so much because I believe it's extremely simplistic in nature. It's 20 slides. It's 20 seconds. It's very easy to take a bunch of words and to throw them up on a PowerPoint and to bore your audience to death. And it's miraculous when they're awake at the end of it. So let's make our presentations more like the devices we like to use. Let's make it like our iPads, our iPods, our Macs. I'm an Apple junkie, as most people know. Let's make it less like Bill Gates, more like Steve Jobs. I don't believe it's 100% feasible to do a PechaKucha like every presentation that you give, but ask yourself this question. Is there a picture that I can use that's going to convey the same message that those words would convey? If the answer is yes, why don't you use the picture the next time? Teşekkür ederim. Thank you. Teşekkür ederim.
Thank you.